mentioned, which is the normalization of threats and violence against public servants at all levels, whether it's election workers or school officials, elected officials and their families, judges, federal law enforcement agents, and others.
Oh yeah, there's a tree.
I think it's very clear that the majority of Americans wholeheartedly condemn any sort of political violence and understand that it's not legitimate discourse and that it has no place in our civic life. But words do matter, and they have consequences, particularly when uttered by people in positions of leadership. So that's why I remain very concerned by the willingness of some members of Congress to repeat disinformation and conspiracy theories that undermine trust in our public institutions which serve all
just a
Americans.
regular
And when
service.
elected officials embrace overheated or fact-free rhetoric, it becomes dangerous.
Just a regular,
Leaders have
game?
unequivocally condemned calls to violence.
Wait, I can plant another one.
To do so,
Maybe
continue
later.
to do so regardless of the party
Well,
affiliation of the
we're not going
perpetrators
to do
or the
that.
targets of such threats. You and other national security officials have repeatedly warned us that foreign actors are actively working to spread disinformation to influence our elections and
Yes, I can read all
discredit
this
our
though.
public institutions, and we should be aiding and abetting them. So
Wait, what? Oh, I knew one was sticky.
we
Forgot.
aspire to where our most valued
Maybe it could
processes
be
like
one
free and fair elections can be carried out unimpeded, and people can run for office, serve their communities, and exercise their right to vote without fear of violence. We've had
More
some concerns
sticks.
about violence around our elections. In 2020, the endorsement and promulgation of falsehoods about the election
Wooden hoe and a shovel.
campaign led to threats and attacks against election officials and poll workers in Pennsylvania. And those
I'm getting these
also
notifications.
wasted millions of taxpayer dollars on frivolous lawsuits
Chicken.
and extraordinary security costs. So as we're again
Huh?
approaching
Wait, oh yeah, I
November,
can
we
write
want to be sure
stone
that
now.
those who implement and
there's
defend
a
our
problem.
elections, our neighbors and our nonpartisan civil servants, can do that important work free from conspiracy theories and
There's
threats.
barely trees.
We know
That's the
local
big
law
problem.
enforcement across Pennsylvania are preparing for some disruption and threats because Pennsylvania may be a battleground state in the upcoming election. That battle should obviously be a war of words over
Make sure to
policy
like
and
and
the vision we're charting for our country's future, not an actual civil war. So
I
how
will
is the
now
FBI
have
helping
a.
the state and local law enforcement
I will
to
now
prevent and
have
respond
a
to
intro.
election-related violence, particularly
So,
against election
I hope you
workers?
like my new intro.
So in a variety of ways, we're partnering with state and local law enforcement. Obviously, the physical security
we can
in the
keep
first instance,
It's on your
I don't want
if I'm not
that
mistaken,
much.
is in the ordinary course of
Surprising.
responsibility of state and local law enforcement. But we play an important role in a number of ways. So we share threat levels, information like that about things to be on the lookout for, things we're seeing. If we ever have specific threat information, then we work to get it to the right people. We have
Make
election
anything-
crime coordinators,
Oh,
which we've had
yeah.
for decades.
Need a
in all 56
furnace?
field offices who have existing
Maybe for later?
relationships with
Never
not
know.
just state and local
No?
law enforcement, but election
Two sticks.
officials, especially focus on security and threat-related issues. And then, of course, we're participating in the
Well,
election threats task force. The
Maybe-
DOJ
yeah,
set up,
maybe there's
which is
sticks over
focused
here.
on threats of violence. For
Sticks.
actual
Oh, I
violence
missed a
against
piece of
election
wood.
workers specifically.
You know what? I
We've
could
had a
use
number of
trees.
arrests
I
and
don't
even
know
some convictions
if I
already
even
on
need
that.
them.
Thank
Oh
you
wait,
for your
I'm gonna place that down
Yield
here.
back. Dylan
Barely
is back, Director. It's my intention to go approximately another half an hour.
Oh, to take it
Then
down.
we'll break for Prime Minister Israel's
Okay.
address to the Congress
furnace.
on the floor.
To my
Give you a
crafting
chance to
table
launch
that I
and
forgot where I
zoom
put
after
it
that,
at.
but we'll keep pushing through for the next half hour if we can. Gentlemen from Indiana is
Wait,
recognized.
Thank you, Mr.
in
Chairman.
my inventory and I
Thank you,
just.
Director
Oh yeah.
Ray. I think you have a little bit better tone in conversation, so I appreciate it. And
Back
answer
over
some
here.
questions, so
Oh,
I
no.
appreciate it. Both of you answers on two letters that I sent
Oh,
you
well.
a year ago. One related to Bureau report and the other
Right
one
here. Don't-
related to
No, it's
Russia
not.
infiltrated as being
Uh,
their
That's what I was like, I told Ally, I was like, I don't think this is
We'll get his
open.
answers and hopefully with the uniformization.
You guys know
the
what it's
uniformization
time
would help
for.
us to get better answers. Working on the right agency.
Oh, they just took half of my
Information to this committee committee.
and then my pickaxe broke. My pickaxe broke. I need that. Yep.
Organization of standards for this committee.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
So where did I basically go? Oh yeah. Go away. Don't go towards me again. I need all my stuff. Yes. I need you to go away. I really just needed food.
And don't you agree we have like millions, right? Don't you agree we
See how
have
mean
millions
that
of
guy was?
mobile in
Like that was so mean.
You think we should be taking that? Millions of devices from mobile Americans? What do you think about that? Would that be something feasible? Really, we should be doing
I'm
that?
just going to place
I'm
random
not going to be
shit.
addressing anybody's specific legislative proposal. From our perspective, from the guy's perspective, the concern is any dangerous weapon in the hands, in the wrong hands.
Oh, that was
In the hands of the
dangerous.
wrong person.
Oh, that was dangerous.
I'm about to. What? I'll make a new
The
world.
knives are dangerous, the explosive are dangerous.
Weapons are by their
I want to make a new world. The whole entire server.
You know, hunting rifles and all those millions of
What?
Americans. Do you think it's feasible to do something like that for nobody?
How come we don't show us?
Advocating.
Okay, well, thank you. I appreciate that. So we have to go back. There was a catastrophic failure of security that was happening.
Underman
Recently, don't you agree
back
with that?
time.
Well, I think
What if I want to give them
Director
back?
Siegel has already publicly
They bite me.
that it was
Scripted water to sweat. Okay.
Then we have, similar situation.
I got it. Yes, this is the one I need. Sheep. Die in the water. Water food. Yes. Water food.
Make any adjustments? Because I know a lot of
Send
people,
water
got
food.
hurt. Now, just in here, it was a lot of cases bringing up the Department of Justice, and they were a lot of them were really just law-abiding Americans that really just upset with the government, and they have no reason to do it. So I think we need to think about it before we prosecute, or instead of actually, looking how we can deal with real criminals and how we can have a proper security when we have events with so many people there. So, did you have confidential human sources? I think you never answered that question on January 6th in the Capitol. Did you have some?
I'm sorry, what's the question?
Confidential human sources. Did you have them on January 6th in the Capitol?
Again, I'm never going to be getting into when and where we have or have not used confidential human sources.
Are you willing to send the record that you had no confidential human sources
Okay,
at the Capitol on
yes.
January 6th?
As I said consistently, I'm not going to get into where we have or have not
Give
used
me the
confidential
word,
human
just
sources.
give me
I
the
can
word.
tell you that if you are asking if the violence at the Capitol on January 6th was part of some operation orchestrated by FBI sources or agencies, the answer is no.
Oh look, you can create a wallet.
So did you investigate if you any confidential human sources? Did you do any investigation looking at this? You don't answer if you have any laws. So if you had potentially, did you do anything you needed to make sure to investigate that none of your sources did anything wrong that they were prosecuted the same way like you're trying to prosecute a lot
Oh
of people?
no.
Really interesting. And super recently that someone signed constitutional charges.
Let me just add that there have now been, I think, 180 individuals
Oh, look, next to stone. Maybe I
in
can
addition to the 850 who pled guilty.
get a better sword.
People who are guilty, but let's just quickly because I only have 10 seconds really. So I hope you will take seriously what you do. Related to the border security is also a crisis. The vice president was leading on that. Has she actually needed to lead like weekly once a year where she actually gets briefings from you as leading borders on and have that function. Have you had that? Has she initiated any meetings on a regular basis?
I need this word. You faster just to mind though.
On this issue of confidential human sources,
You didn't play Minecraft before? This is basically how you play.
underground that I think addresses some of these kinds of topics.
Like you can just have fun. Do like a survival gave me for your friends when different servers. So it's like a more challenge.
Individuals who pled guilty, another 180 who've gone to trial, all had access to defense counsel, discovery, thanks to constitutional rules.
So I can collect
About 15
more
different
stuff
judges, I think
right
dozens
now.
of juries, and not one has given credence to this notion. In fact, I don't think any of them have even really seriously tried to raise it. So it's not
Yes.
just my word for
You
it.
can make glass out of this.
Thank you. Gentleman from Colorado.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Director Ray,
I'm making glass out of this. Okay, you run. I think I stole you off the sand.
Also grateful for the work that you're doing in
So what can I make out of
investigating
sand?
the horrific events of July 13th and the attempted
What
assassination.
about any like glass? Can I make glass out of this or not? Clearly it's not letting me do it. Doesn't look like it's creating. Like a stack, hopefully.
Well, we are devoting massive amounts of resources to this specific investigation. We have easily several hundred agents, analysts, and professional staff.
I don't want to dig like 90 down because maybe I can like fall
The
through.
FBI's 56 field offices, almost every headquarters division. We even have some of our overseas
Sometimes you actually
offices
do need to
working on,
dig
you might say,
holes
more
for
ground
that.
because of some of the companies that
May not want to, but you may have to.
communications or what have you
Never know.
that the shooter used are foreign companies, so we have to get evidence from overseas from those companies. I talked about our lab a little bit earlier today.
Apparently I can
Technology division,
do a lot of
devices.
stuff.
We have our behavioral analysis unit, our BAU, working on helping us build our profile of the shooter. I could go
Could I
on
make
and on.
my
So
crafting?
on this case as I think
So I
is
can
appropriate.
make-
Now, when you ask about our resources,
need to
I've
make a
been
house.
public about the fact
So
that
yes,
the fiscal year 24 budget was $500 million below where we needed to sustain current operations.
Yes.
And on FY 25, the current House mark would put us significantly further back behind that and would result in significant risks across every
Okay, this is
program
more
and our
of
support
like
to state and
your
local law enforcement.
area.
We arrested something like
man.
50 violent criminals per day, every day last year. The current mark would mean more violent
Oh
criminals
yeah,
on
I
the
can
street, more
jump to
neighborhoods at
one
risk.
side.
We have about a 1,300% increase in our investigations related to China and its targeting of us. And I can assure you,
This
China's
is
not
going
going
to
to
be, this is going to
this
be
would
the
mean more
ceiling.
threats from China. We have something like 300 to 400 investigations just into cartel leadership. And about hardly a week goes by when some FBI field office isn't seizing enough
I don't
fentanyl
need
to
it
wipe
that
out an
bigger.
entire state.
I realize that.
That mark,
Oh, what
cuts
did I?
means more fentanyl on the street, more people dying.
It was worth it.
So the people who suffer the most are state
do
local
it.
law enforcement and the American people who are working to protect. And so we're working with Congress, but we really need to be smart about what we're doing. And I think that would be a step in the wrong direction given the threat environment.
And I couldn't agree with you more, Director Ray. Of course, we talked about this during previous hearings in which you testified, and to be clear, that I think the budget that House Republicans proposed, which is about a $325
I'm gonna
million
build a house for
to the FBI,
protection.
would do precisely what you described and have deleterious impacts for public safety across our country, and the House Democrats are certainly working to prevent those cuts from taking place. You've talked at great length
I'm
about
not
the events of July 13. There's justifiably a lot of public interest in the investigation, which we understand is ongoing. Wonder if you might, if there's anything that you'd like to disclose or provide to the committee or to the public
Make it in
that
my
perhaps has
image.
not yet been gleaned during the course of this hearing, and just give you an opportunity.
Crafting
There's a
table
lot of folks
or whatever.
related to the investigation.
The one thing I can
The
give an
best
update on, which is pretty fresh here, we had some conversations with some of the members about the access to the roof and the ladder and so forth. And our evidence evidence response teams and their forensic collection, we now believe that the
This is
subject climbed
going to be
onto the
like a
roof
shaft.
using some mechanical equipment on the ground and vertical piping on the side of the AGR building.
Oh my gosh.
In other words, we do not believe he used a ladder to get up
Oh,
there.
I haven't realized. I need to see it.
One question, if the chairman might indulge me with just a few extra seconds. There's an article recently regarding several former Trump administration national
Can I
security
just add
officials
one hole?
who had received a duty to warn briefing from the FBI regarding the
I
potential
need a
threat.
tool.
And I think there
Torch,
is
put a
this
torch.
article made
Coal?
clear deep concern that these individuals have, justifiably so, about the threat level, particularly given the events of the last several months, and the need for there to be an
Wait.
increased security posture
Oh,
and
and with
security
this stick.
personnel for former officials who
Collect
may very
sticks,
well
a lot
still be
of
at risk. And I don't know if you're familiar with that article.
A lot of sticks.
Try not to use
Oh,
names here, but I
yes,
think,
we can go to the nether. We can go to the nether. What's over here that we can go to the nether with?
any individuals who
I don't know why.
are potentially facing a threat from Iran.
Oh, I realized something.
Or a foreign nation have the resources they need to have the security
Right.
available to them.
So,
Can you
again,
go
without
to the
reference
nether
any specific
until
individual,
I
I
have
want to be very clear about this because I've tried to be vocal
diamond
on this, but it
pickaxe.
sometimes doesn't
Oh shoot, oh shoot, oh shoot,
get
oh shoot.
noticed as much.
It's
Which
turning
is that
night,
in
it's
my
turning
view,
night,
the
it's
Iranian
turning night.
government has been extremely aggressive
turning night.
and brazen.
Shut my
We've seen
trap.
in the last few years an attempt
Oh no,
to
I
speaking
couldn't,
from
I
public
should not.
information now, an attempt to assassinate a former
I
U.S.
shouldn't do
national
this.
security advisor
Okay,
on U.S.
go.
soil. We have seen an attempt
Well,
first to
I mean,
kidnap
place, but
and
it's
then
still work.
an American dissident slash journalist who's a critic of the Iranian regime right smack in the middle of New York City. We have seen a
I
cyber
wanna get
attack
up there.
against a children's hospital in New England that ties back to Iran. We have seen, as I've testified before, as Director Ratcliffe and I announced, an effort by the Iranians to
Can't let
target
them
the
see.
2020 presidential election. And that's all before you even get to the fact that the Iranian government is the leading state sponsor of terrorism.
Oh, I just saw the creeper. Oh my god. I just said the creeper.
But Director, was there a distinction between what the gentleman from Colorado raised and what he just said, this general concern in these
Oh, yep, that zombie sees me.
instance you talk about, and a direct specific threat on President Trump that's distinct from what you've been describing as a general concern?
Well,
You
again,
good,
I can't
buddy?
get into specific pieces of product.
Oh, cheese. Oh, cheese. Oh, cheese.
Right, on
Ah, you good.
Yeah, all I can tell you,
Good?
in this kind of setting is,
How come they can survive?
U.S. officials for the Soleimani strike is something that
If I move right here, what will
the
happen?
government has at times
Oh, I can mess
called
with
for
him.
very publicly. And whenever there is reporting, let me try to answer your question this way. Whenever there is reporting about any
Oh, man. Oh, add holes. Oh, add holes.
working with the intelligence community, working with whoever is the protective service who's responsible for that. We do it in a timely way, using the duty to warn process that was just referred to.
Now, this is how you do it.
Everything along those lines that's relevant was shared.
That's how you keep the zombie less.
Thank you. Gentleman from Wisconsin, recognized. Director Ray, thanks for being here.
Zombie.
We're
zombie
learning
follows.
that President Trump was shot, and then what were like your immediate actions in response to that as director?
Yes. Look how dumb the zombies
Dinner
are.
with family,
They're just gonna fucking do it.
and I was horrified and angry.
I'm just
Watch
thinking,
for
the reason I asked the question is because I'm thinking, I'm still trying to figure out
Skelly.
the lanes, what the FBI would respond to and what the Secret Service has the responsibility to respond to. Can you just cover that again?
So, the FBI is not responsible for, has never really been part of our mandate mission for the physical security of venues, of specific protectees or anything like that. That's, if it's somebody within Secret Services scope, that's their mandate mission. We are a law
of stuff in my inventory. I should place
We're the Federal Bureau of
down.
Investigation. We're not the Federal Bureau of Security. You might say, well, what's the difference? Well,
Okay, well, we've been listening to the FBI Director Christopher Wray for the last few hours, testifying before the Judiciary Committee in the House about
Okay.
the attempted assassination
So
against former
that
President Trump, as well as ongoing security
that.
threats in this nation, particularly the security threat that is currently at a very high
Day
level from the
one
country of Iran.
chest.
Sandra, it's been a long hearing with a lot of very important questions, and unlike the hearing with the
Day one
Monday, he's actually giving us some answers.
Yeah, but still, questions over the motive and what the shooter's motive would have been or could have been. The director talking about the
I wonder if it'll
investigation and the questions that they have had to those who have been around him.
No way, people.
Very interesting for the American public to hear, but still a lot of looming
Oh, that
questions
sounds
out there
bad.
unanswered. John.
So many questions. In fact, I guess you could say going all the way back to 1963. There are unanswered questions, and a lot of people have theories. Let's bring in the former
Like
FBI
the sun's
investigator
going
Bill
down.
Daley. Let me play on Sanders' point about
Chill, bud.
This is what
The sun's
FBI
coming
director said
up
about the
any
potential motive
second, I
of crooks in
think.
trying
I don't know.
to assassinate Donald Trump. Listen here.
I think it's fair to say that we do
Sun's coming
not
up
yet
chill,
have a
it's
clear
fine.
picture of his motive. You might see a manifesto, things like that. We're not seeing that yet,
This is the damage.
but we are
This
digging
is
it
the
up because this is one of the central questions for us.
A lot of damage.
You know, even 60 years later, we still don't know why exactly Oswald killed him. Will we ever truly know why crooks tried to take out former President Trump?
Well, John, from what we understand and what the director said further, which is that the shooter had a very small number of contacts, a very kind of limited, appears to be a kind of limited universe of people he was in touch with. We haven't seen any of those statements that you just said that have been recovered, whether overtly or covertly, still forensic analysis on the computer, so perhaps there could be something that he tried to erase or was somewhere hidden in some slack space on the computer. We don't have that yet. I think, John, where we may be at, and he referred to it in this discussion, people have been brought into the case.
I wonder what it's saying
The
today.
analysis unit, the world-renowned BAU of the FBI,
Oh,
is
no.
we need to piece
Wait.
together a lot of what people are saying.
This one's coming up, I
is
think.
whether he has any kind of footprint or lack thereof, as well as contact with his family
Putting a
or
hole
other
here.
people or behaviors, which may give an indication as to what he was trying to accomplish. There is a small amount of apparently, he did some searches about Oswald Kennedy, how far away Oswald was from Kennedy. So we don't know when that took place, but he was doing some searches around that. Again, doesn't appear to be ideologically driven, at least from thus far what the FBI director is saying. But it appears to be somebody who seems to be, as we've talked about other shooters, kind of a lone individual, somebody who may be harboring things internally that no one really saw percolating to the top. And it doesn't appear to be at this point any kind of early warning signal that anyone significantly missed.
Bill, good to have you here today. Thanks for joining us. Also questions about the shooter's drone that he appeared to use to study the area before he carried this out.
We have recovered a drone that the shooter appears to have used. It appears that around 3:50 p.m., 4 o'clock in that window, on the day of the shooting, that the shooter was flying the drone around the area. He was live streaming.
Okay, I don't know what I'm doing.
For like about 11 minutes in around the 3:50, 4 o'clock p.m.
I mean, there was obviously some serious study of the area, but at the same time, we watch that and we think, gosh, I mean, there was the ability for the Secret Service to do just as much studying and preparation to secure and keep the former president safe.
Yes, it's very troubling that, in fact, the shooter had his drone in the air, but we didn't have any other aerial assets that were, surveying the area for protecting for the former president or any of the attendees. It goes back, I think, to some of the statements we've already heard, we previously made yesterday. There's there was this kind of failure on the ground to be able to kind of pull together that perimeter security kind of
my friend,
overarching,
he
protection
would
level
get
that
torches
that
and all
really
that
detected
stuff.
this. The immediate close protection agents that responded
The house, like,
to criminal
right.
precedent, this close protection detail did the right thing, but they themselves shouldn't have been put in harm by some of those kind of, failure, those faults that took place that led to the shooting getting on the roof. I want to say further about the hearing today.
Wages in Europe, wages in the Middle
Hi
East.
guys, I have changed my mind. I'm not going to beat it. Well, this is part 1. Part 2 is going to come out. I don't know when. So, I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to like and subscribe. Bye!